Wait, contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family night? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement. Strike three, you're out! Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
A new school year is here with summer coming to an end, and it's time to get into proper shoes. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this August with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoe with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. Don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start the fall season off right with the August athletic shoe sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise cloudy with patchy fog and a high around 79. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely, the low around 68. And tomorrow, showers and storms likely again. Some could be severe. We'll see a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Quick for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is Adam Carriker on The Ticket.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, first and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome, everybody, into Adam Carriker on The Ticket. As always, on Tuesdays throughout the summer, I'm joined by the face that runs the place, DP, Mr. Derrick Pearson. But before I officially bring him on, I want to give a shout-out to Bonzel Pool and Spa. Check them out at bonzelpool.com. Pools, hot tubs, saunas, you need them, they got them, you have them, you need them taken care of, check them out at bonzelpool.com. All right, DP, before we talk a little pro wrestling, and since you have no idea what I have in mind because I didn't let you know, I'm thinking the greatest pro wrestlers of all time, that list. But before we get into that, I had a chat with somebody, and I trust what they have to say. They're a little bit in the know, and they know Coach Prime. Completely shifting topics back to college football, Colorado, Coach Prime. They know him personally. And a lot's been made of, recent, the press conference and whatnot with Deion Sanders. And I had the audacity to come on this show yesterday and actually stick up for him when it came to how he responded to the media. And that's the risk you take when you're in Husker country, which I freaking love. Okay. To be clear. And I dare to stick up for a Colorado head coach, not what's going on in the locker room. Don't support the guns, etc. I made that clear yesterday. But he had the audacity to let people know how he felt publicly towards the media. And Husker fans, some of them loved it, some of them not so much, but that's okay. I've had a conversation since yesterday. All right. And someone who knows him, because a lot's been made of, he was second to last on this list that CBS Sports put out in July, the second worst ranked coach in the Big 12, like 60 something in the entire country. Oh, that's the reason he's mad. Has nothing to do with that. Has everything to do with the fact that he's collabed with CBS Sports in the past, done 60 Minutes, not once, but twice, once at Colorado. Okay. They were working on another collab. And from what I understand, Deion opened up, made himself a little vulnerable. CBS, the national folks, which is why he's kind of upset with the national folks, said, this is not the look we're looking for. This might look good for Colorado and Deion, doesn't look good for us, and they kiboshed it. And that's what was foul, which I thought was a very telling word. Okay, the specific use of the word foul, I thought that was a very telling word, and that's why Deion feels what they did was foul. I hope I kind of explained that quickly because I do want to get to wrestling. But what are your thoughts on that, DP?
Well, I was taught early on in this business that one, tell the truth, be entertaining, and then you're either informing or performing. And those are kind of the things that keep me as a boundary. And then you say, okay, but I also wouldn't say anything to anybody that I wouldn't say to their face.
Mm-hmm.
In a closet, in a dark closet, small closet.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
So if you are saying things about people that either you don't know or don't have proximity to, you speak differently than you are if you are present and connected to it. So I tell people all the time, I allow anybody to say what they need to say to whoever they need to say it to and be held accountable for it. So you don't have to like what Deion said, but Deion was working from a professional and personal space where he has a relationship with CBS and has had a relationship with CBS. The inner workings of that where CBS didn't take care of him in the way that they had committed and promised to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that directly impacted Deion Sanders, the person, the personality, and the coach. So CBS didn't come back and say you were wrong for doing it. The reporter didn't come back and say you were wrong for doing it. It's only people who don't like Deion who said you didn't. We don't like that you did it.
Yes. Yep.
I'll stand in that. Listen, I don't particularly care. Like, I know Deion. I like Deion. The things that I like about Deion, I like, just like everybody else. And the things I don't like about Deion, okay, fine. But I don't let it cross over into my opinion of the facts. And the facts were, he told a CBS reporter that I have an issue with CBS.
Mm-hmm.
Period. All of that was true. All of that is verifiable. Okay, fine. How you feel about the truth is not Deion's business or fault.
Yeah.
He told you the truth. He told the reporter the truth. The reporter knew the truth. And there you have it. So, yeah, I still don't quite understand that we spend so much time on Deion in Colorado in this market. Because it's a statement that, well, he's interesting. And he draws clicks, and people will listen, and they'll respond to it. But that's low-hanging fruit. And as a collective, we should be better than that. We should be better than that. We're still going to talk about things that people react to, and people react to Deion Sanders. So the very thing that you despise about Deion is why Deion is Deion. He draws fire. That's why people pay attention.
He does draw fire. And like I said, I wanted to get this out there because it's not about some list. He's not worried about where he's ranked on some coaching list. I just wanted to get a little bit of the truth out there before we jump into some pro wrestling. There was something they were working on.
Yeah.
CBS backed out, and they broke the trust, and that's what was foul to him. So just so people know what was really going on without going into too much detail, and honestly, that's all I know. That's all the individual would tell me, but that's all I needed to know. So now people know what the truth is. It's not some rankings list or some stupid thing like that Dion probably couldn't care less about. So,
yeah, and most of the people who are talking, like if you're calling Dion arrogant, do you know Dion? Do you know the man? Not the persona, not the coach, not the athlete. Do you know the man? Otherwise, you're speaking out of pocket. So we tell people, listen, if you're bothered by his arrogance, that's a you thing. That's not a Dion thing. You're judging a man's arrogance from a distance that has nothing to do with you. Like, no, we got to do better than that.
I'm with you, man. All right, should we talk a little bit of pro wrestling? How's that sound to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, so it's a very up-to-date list. This was April 5th, 2024, as they rank the top 25 greatest wrestlers of all time. Very WWE heavy, obviously. Okay. But I figure this week and next week, we can kind of go through this list and we can I've got my top 12 is what I ended up coming up with. And then a whole bunch of other names after that. And then actually some question marks, But I figure we got about 2 weeks, because then 3 weeks from now is going to be that first Tuesday leading into the Husker game. So maybe we can go through this rather quickly. But number 25 on this list is Rowdy Piper. What do you think of the hot rod, number 25?
So whenever we have these discussions, and shout out to Hoster Breezy and Jake Backover for adding to these conversations on a weekly basis, we have these discussions. You have to determine, okay, what are the parameters? What are the boundaries that we're working from? Is it timetable? Is it in-ring performance? Is it mic? Is it legacy? Is it greatest matches? Is it remove of some renown? And no matter what box you want to check for greatest of all time to be in the conversation, what Roddy Piper did was to give you a talk show that allowed a wrestler's persona to be highlighted, and for him to tell stories and set the tone for stories. How many great rivalries were born at Piper's Pit?
A lot.
Right? Like how many moments were crafted and created because, one, we never quite knew which Roddy Piper we were going to get. Were you going to get Roddy? You're going to get Hot Rod, right? We weren't sure. And iconically, in one of the great transitional moments in wrestling history, that without him, there is no WrestleMania 1. Like,
I'm assuming you know the backstory to WrestleMania 1, that he didn't want to deal with Mr. T. He didn't want to lose. He didn't even want to show up to the match, and Hogan had to kind of politic behind just to get him to show up. I assume you know all that backstory to WrestleMania 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating that he wanted to protect the sport.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to protect the business because he wasn't sure. The vetting hadn't been done. You don't know how Mr. T is going to respond. You don't know if he's going to be able to handle the situation, circumstance. And him not liking Mr. T personally. But that, if you're going to talk wrestling, there's always these stories. I mean, the number of people who had to work with Hulk Hogan who hated him, just hated him. The people that had to work with Dusty, the people that had to work with Flair and, not selling, Lesnar not selling, not showing up. That's across the board. But from an entertainment standpoint, Roddy Piper is in that collection, that Hall of Fame, and Adam, I would almost say he's in that Hall of Fame of the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
I would agree.
Right, like if you were really just going to have an elite Hall of Fame for wrestling, not everybody who's in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame would get in. Roddy Piper would get in, and it's the crossover into movies. And then the greatest question, and I've adopted it as a life mantra for me. Just when they think they have all the answers, I change the question. It's so cerebral and narrative altering that I've accepted it. I'm like, okay, that's my thing. In this business, just when they think they know everything about DP, I change the question about DP. I love that. Like, I love that so much. So yes, That's where he belongs as a performer, as a mic'sman, as a promoter, all those things.
So yeah, just so other folks know, Piper did not want to, like, it was Mr. T and Hogan in a tag team versus Piper. Who was his partner again? I don't recall. DP.
Paul Orndorff.
Yes, that's right.
Cowboy Bob Orton.
Yes.
Who had another Nick Slick or something that he was using at the time. But Paul Orndorff being a part of it, and then that transition to the whole rock and wrestling Cyndi Lauper crossover, which, I mean, again, so big that it created the change in that iconic moment in women's wrestling that Wendy Richter broke the ceiling and ended up with her championship match on MTV. Like, all of that is Hogan Piper based, and God bless him for it.
The fact that we did get Hogan and Flair eventually in WCW, and then of course Hogan had to beat him 4 times because 3 or 2 wasn't enough. But the fact that we never got Piper and Hogan, oh man, another gigantic missed opportunity one-on-one. So basically, they had the tag team match, Mr. T, first WrestleMania ever. Vince McMahon put it all on the line, big risk. He needed Lauper, he needed T, he needed big names to draw on big money because he was putting it all on the line.
Liberace,
yes,
right?
all those guys. Eventually,
right?
Mike Tyson and so many more down the line. Okay,
yeah.
But Piper did not want to lose to a non-wrestler. Vince McMahon
he was not
has
going to be penned by a wrestler.
Yes,
he did not want, like it. Just you were. It wasn't. He didn't want to be penned by pro wrestlers. Let alone.
Well, that's true. That's one major reason the Hogan match never really happened, because they both wanted to win. You can't blame them. But Vince McMahon has a rule, and it falls at 99% of the time. When we invite somebody in, a celebrity, they get to win, or they get to look good, and somebody's got to be at the expense of somebody. But when you get back to Piper specifically, he got over in a time when, let's be honest, it was the steroid era. It was about the bodybuilders. It was about how you looked. And I'm my favorite wrestler as a kid was the Warrior. My favorite wrestler of all time was Goldberg. And I'm not accusing those guys of anything. I'm saying they're big jack dudes. Those are the type of dudes I like to watch. And Piper didn't necessarily fit that mold, and he was still probably the top heel. And so to me, he's one of the top heels of all time. When I think of top heels, I think of McMahon, Mr. McMahon. I think of Piper. I think of The Rock when he's heel. I think of Orton, Triple H, although some of the evolution stuff just nauseated me, but that's a topic for another day.
Right.
So for me, I've got Piper top 15, probably. As I look at my top 12, I don't have him in my top 12, but if I were to extend it to 15, I'd probably have a guy named Dusty Rhodes, probably Rowdy Piper, if I were to extend it to 15. So
yeah,
I personally have no problem with him at 25. Personally, I'd put him higher. AJ, this is an intriguing one. And I guess this gives you how I feel. Not that he's not phenomenal, pun intended. Okay, but when I saw his name on this list, I was a little bit surprised. But you got to know what he's done outside of WWE as well. But that's AJ Styles at 24. What are your thoughts?
No.
Okay, we agree.
No,
we agree.
Like, no,
there you go.
Man. No. If AJ Styles is anywhere on the list, and Rick Steamboat isn't 20 places ahead of him, 40 spaces, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? AJ Styles, you could tell. Here's the rule for legacy in pro wrestling, and the same for most sports. If you cannot tell the story of pro wrestling without them, then they don't belong in the Hall of Fame. Like, all these people that we're talking about, your top 12, top 15, are all people that, if you're going to describe to an alien pro wrestling, that you have to mention those 15 names or 10 names or 5 names. Right? Like if you get it when you finally get to Mount Rushmore, it has to be, in order for me to talk about pro wrestling, these are the 5, 10, 15 names that they have to mention. And even at 25, AJ Styles is not in the top 25. He's not.
I don't have a whole lot to add. All due respect to AJ, he is truly phenomenal. Again, pun intended. I just don't think he's top 25 all time, with all due respect.
Yep.
Okay, I just love that you said describing pro wrestling to an alien. That's a line that's going to stick with me. I like that. Real quick, just so people know what I emphasize when I'm looking at this, because DP went through a list of things based on how you're ranking wrestlers. You can go in-ring performance. You can go mic skills. You can go, who put butts in the seats, entertainment, name recognition. You can do more things than that. For me, I look at all of that, but I don't put as much weight on in-ring performance and skill. I just mentioned the Warrior and Goldberg as two of my favorites ever. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. I think of who put butts in the seats, because if I want to see great technical wrestling, I'm going to watch what used to happen at the Olympics, or I'm going to go to my local high school gym and I'm going to watch it. Okay, right. I watch pro wrestling for entertainment. So who put butts in the seats? Who was entertaining? Who is easily a little bit more recognizable because they created a bigger brand, because they had more mass appeal. Not that you have to have gigantic mass appeal, but when you think of guys like Hogan and Rock and some of these other guys who are able to cross over into movies, there's a reason they're all in my top 10, and there's a reason they were able to cross over. All right. At number 23, I'm a little conflicted on this one, admittedly. He had one of the greatest moments in the history of WrestleMania, at WrestleMania 30, Yeselmania. Okay. So I'm a little conflicted. It's Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan if you're a WWE fan. What are your thoughts on him at 23?
So on the Sunday Breeze, we Haas Tabrizi and I bump heads on a monthly basis. He is a 100% Daniel Bryan fan.
Mm-hmm.
While I understand the need to have small guy heroes, Daniel Bryan is not in my top 25. Like, I want at some point, how would you match them up with the greats in pro wrestling? Right? Because I can see, there's a group that I can see. If you tell me that Andre the Giant, and we can have this discussion, that to me, Andre the Giant is the greatest pro wrestler to ever live. Period. Like, in real life and exposure and fan support, and that if they actually got into a fight, right, Andre's number one. Can this person match up against the GOAT? No.
Well, no. I mean, that's an unusual matchup, in all fairness, though. How many people can match up with him, in fairness?
Well, think about it. Lesnar, Warrior, Goldberg, like Hulk Hogan, Dusty, we would pay incredible amounts of money to fill any arena in the world with a group of 10 wrestlers. Piper and Andre fought in buildings from Japan to Hawaii.
Shawn Michaels. He's in my top 12.
Right. Like, I mean, so you get that Undertaker, Kane, Rock, if they all crossed over in that space, we're talking about pretty deep water.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Daniel Bryan doesn't belong in the conversation.
So for me, I compare some of the people that I'm iffy on, and I would not have Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson in my top 25. I do have him closer to it than I did AJ Styles, again, with all due respect to AJ. It doesn't help that I walked by AJ one time backstage in a TNA taping in like 2012, and he just gave me the dirtiest look ever. So that kind of jades my view of him just a smidge, but I digress. It was 12 years ago, and I'm still ready to. Anyways, I digress. So I compare Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson to guys who I have just outside of if I were to go all the way to top 25. So I don't have Warrior in the top 25, and I really debated hard on that one, but I would put Warrior in before I'd put Bryan. I don't even know what to call him, Bryan Danielson, and I would personally put Warrior in over him.
Mr.
But that's
Bella.
just me.
Mr.
That's that's not wrestling ability, because that's laughable. That is butts in the seats ability, and that was Warrior. All right, this next one.
Go ahead. That's funny to me. No,
talk about two completely different types of pro wrestlers. Okay, number 22. All right, he's a part of my favorite WrestleMania main event of all time. But the main event, while he was at the center of it, had a lot of help. Okay, and I think this is very, very, very recency bias, and I would not have him in my top 25. I'm not saying he couldn't be there by the time he's done, but I do not have him there right now, and that's Cody Rhodes. I think he can knock on the door eventually, but I do not have him there right now. I think there's a lot of recency bias, or unless you just want to reward him for helping start another wrestling promotion and then leaving. But that, to me, that's not a contribution to him being a great pro wrestler. That's more of something else. But what are your thoughts there on Cody Rhodes?
Cody, bruh, like, you're not even the best wrestler in your family.
Okay, So we're in a lot of agreement here. I'm trying to be nice, but you're like, just no.
Like, listen, you ain't your daddy, man. Like, I mean,
yep.
Like we're gonna have that discussion. Randy Orton is the greatest Orton. Roman Reigns in a family of dudes is in the conversation. Rock, look, you are related to High Chief Peter Maivia and Rocky Johnson, and you still stand tall. Cody, you're not that guy. Go to your room.
We have a lot of disagreement with this list, and we've just started. There's only one person we both think should be in it, and we think they actually have him too low, and that's Rowdy Piper. Everyone else we're like, no.
No.
All right, so we do got to take a break, but I'm just going to let everyone know. Okay, and this is the perfect tease to not go anywhere. And we come back, number 21 is CM Punk. So we're going to discuss CM Punk at number 21. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to join a family-owned local company that values innovation, integrity, and excellence? Look no further than Lincoln Industries. They're hiring for first and third shift production roles, as well as multiple engineering and sales positions. Whether you're an engineer ready to design groundbreaking solutions or a sales professional eager to connect with clients, they've got a place for you. Come join their family. Visit www.lincolnindustries.com for more information.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise cloudy with patchy fog and a high around 79. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely, with a low around 68. And tomorrow, showers and storms likely again. Some could be severe. We'll see a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Quick for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Announcing Acres' end of summer sales event. Acres has dropped its prices on select late model John Deere tractors, combines, and corn heads. Act now and upgrade your equipment before harvest season. Trade in your old equipment today and get unbelievable discounts that could save you over $100,000. With great financing options and our A-plus support, there's no better time to buy. Visit your local Acres store or see the huge savings at acres.com. That's AKRS.com to see the best prices in the nation.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G35609. Must trade.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. The new EPL season starts this Friday on the 16th as Man United takes on Fulham at 2 p.m. EPL action then continues on Saturday as West Ham takes on Aston Villa at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday. Then we wrap up the week on Sunday as Chelsea takes on Man City at 10:30 a.m. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Do you have gently used books just waiting to be given new life in the hands of new readers? Linked to Literacy can help. We're gathering books for our second annual Wordstock event at Antelope Park on August 24th. It's a community-wide book swap where people can shop for free books and enjoy fun activities. From now until August 19th, you can drop off your book donations at several locations throughout Lincoln. So gather up books for both kids and adults and find a collection site near you at linktoliteracy.org. Then plan to join the fun on August 24th.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family nights? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement. Strike three, you're out! Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam on The Ticket. All right, folks. First of all, the Carriker Chronicles returns August 25th, Sunday, August 25th, 6 p.m. Central Time. You can check it out on YouTube, also carrikerchronicles.com. The Ticket, check out theticket.com, X, Facebook, all social media, Amazon Prime, podcast platforms, TV, radio. It's every frickin' where, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get back to the countdown, and I think I might have an inkling of what your opinion at CM Punk at number 21 is. All right, CM Punk ranked the 21st greatest pro wrestler of all time. What are your thoughts here, DP?
Yeah, and I'll bring Bach into this conversation here because Bach and I were having a conversation over the break, and I think we kind of landed on the thing that, quite frankly, they're listing. It's younger people who are making this list.
Yes.
Without regard for what really built it and what the standards are for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can rattle off 25 champions, like people who filled buildings everywhere, not just their hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Every country. CM Punk is not amongst them. He's not amongst them. Like I am a CM Punk fan. The pop of being in Chicago, we were in Chicago, Haas and I went to the pay-per-view in Chicago where he made his return. And the pop in that building was just insane. Is he one of the top 25 ever? No, he's not. Sorry. Like you, CM Punk.
For me, and if Bach wants to hop in, just hop in any point, Bach. Real quick, I want to correct myself. It's theticketfm.com is the website, ladies and gentlemen. Theticketfm.com. All right. So I remember we actually had a similar conversation when we were doing the greatest talkers of all time when we did that list. It kind of started with the pipe bomb.
Yep.
And that was phenomenal. To me, the two single greatest promos in wrestling history are the pipe bomb and Austin 316, however you want to rank them. And we can debate that list one day, but those are the two that always...
No.
Well, those are the two that stick out in my mind. But with Austin, if you take the Austin 316 away, okay, that promo, you've still got his matches and rivalry with The Rock. You've still got the greatest WWE storyline of all time with Mr. McMahon. You've still got the most white-hot superstar of all time. Okay. You take the pipe bomb from CM Punk. He's had a very good career. He had a 400-plus WWE championship reign at one point. I don't know that many people recall it anymore like they did at that point in time, but there's been several times when it just hasn't worked out. Okay. It didn't work out in WWE to begin with. He goes away for 10 years. He goes to AEW. He's going to be the savior, whatever. Gets into it with the EVPs. Then they start a whole Saturday show around him. And the views just weren't there. Then he ends up leaving with the whole Jungle Boy stuff. And I'm speaking very vaguely. If you're not a wrestling fan, I apologize. I am trying to move quickly. But everywhere he goes, there's high expectations. And it just seems to be a bit of an under delivery. Even coming back to WWE, he hurts the tricep because he always gets hurt. He's definitely entertaining. He's great on the mic. I love watching him. Not top 25 in my opinion. Okay.
Adam, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does he rank as highly on the men's list as his wife does on the women's list?
Ooh.
Because AJ Lee is in the top 10 of women wrestlers ever.
The answer is no. I do think there's a lot more men wrestlers over time to compete with, so it's a bigger list versus the women's list, in fairness. But no, he doesn't. He doesn't. Her promo with the Bellas to this day, talking about the whole John Cena bedroom, all that good stuff, that's still one of my favorite promos of all time. All right, number 20, Rey Mysterio.
No, sir. No, sir. No.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I just want to skip ahead. Actually, I know you're gonna like 1, 2. You've got to like the next 3. Okay, so we are gonna slow it down a little bit. So go ahead. Quick thoughts on Rey Mysterio. Go ahead.
I'll save you time. No.
He's the greatest luchador of all time.
No, he's not. Mil Mascaras. Mil Mascaras is the GOAT. Like
who?
No. Mil Mascaras. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God. Mil Mascaras is on the listen. The Mount Rushmore of luchador. This dude had his own soap opera with the mask on.
Where was it aired at? The soap opera.
Mexico, South America. Like Mil Mascaras was a true worldwide heartthrob. And the style of wrestling, he was the one that brought it to America in full. Partnered with the Guerreros, Dad Chavo Sr., that crew survived all of the chaos and insanity that was going on in South America. But yeah, so much so that he is the evolution of the mask and living that life in full is Mil Mascaras.
So if we were to debate road pavers, okay, then we might err towards the individual you're talking about. But when I talk about seats, name being recognizable, I don't think there's anybody that surpasses Rey Mysterio, at least not from my knowledge. So I'm going to stick with my statement of greatest luchador of all time, or at least most recognizable. I haven't even seen the other individual, and if I have, I did not remember it. So for me, that's where I'm going to stick with. I know we're going to disagree on that, but I know you're going to like the name that's going to come up next. I don't think you're going to like the placement. All right, number 19 is Andre the Giant.
Blasphemers all. That is the goat of all goats of all goats. He is the goatiest of all goats. Andre could sell out your building without you.
That is true.
Andre,
that is true.
Like literally, that you would have to set the deal in place before Andre got there. That please, sir, will you come in, make us tons of money, and then leave town with the belt here, please, sir, if you don't mind. Yeah,
There's a lot of truth to that. Yeah.
Yeah, Andre's one. And then whatever else you want to do, Andre can outsell anybody on this list in their building, in their era, anytime.
So it's interesting because I rarely hear two names that I have in my top 12. I rarely hear them mentioned when people think of top 5, top 10, top 15 wrestlers. And that is Andre the Giant and Bruno Sammartino. I rarely hear them brought up, and I think it's an era thing. I think it's a timing thing. Like they were so long ago in some people's minds. But when you think about entertainment, which is what I said I'm emphasizing personally, butts in the seats, the three names that pop into my mind in no particular order right now, because I don't want to give away my rankings, are Austin, Hogan, Giant, however you want to rank those. And clearly Giant's number one for you. But those are the three names that pop into my mind at the top of the list.
Andre, Sammartino, I believe Sammartino still has the consecutive sellout of Madison Square Garden record.
Yes, he does.
People, I'm older, so I understand that. What Ric Flair did and his heyday of selling out football stadiums that they had never done, he was outselling Hogan. So there's that. And then I don't know. I think Austin is a little high in that. I would lean towards Andre, Flair, Sammartino, Hogan as the four greatest salesmen amongst all wrestlers ever.
I'm glad somebody agrees with me with Sammartino. So, as you know, I used to do a show in DC called Fourth and Pain with Chuck Carroll, and we did a top 10 list. And Chuck went through his first, and nowhere on the list was Bruno, and Chuck knows wrestling, okay? And I think Bruno at the time, number 3. I always debate between him and Taker and Flair and all those guys.
Yep.
And Chuck looked at me and he goes, "Holy crap, you have a guy number 3 that I don't even have in my top 10." And it was like a light bulb went on. Like it didn't even occur to him to have Sammartino on that list. And if you look it up, okay, Sammartino has the record for consecutive sellouts at Madison Square Garden. He has the record, and he's in 2 of the top 5, by the way, I might add when it comes to this. Longest WWE title reigns, okay, 2,803 days, okay, which is like, what, 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And then he has the 5th. Number 2 is Bob Backlund, Hogan, Reigns, and then he has the 5th longest title reign at 1,237 days, yet his name is never brought up. So
and they were months apart. Like literally, he could have just ran them 2 together. But his wife demanded a vacation.
So his heyday, just for people who know, was in the mid to late 60s and then also in the early to mid 70s. His major, I actually had to look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a lot of times why he isn't thought of. Okay, so I think we both agree. Hey, love the Giants on this list, way too low. Number 18, and I'm curious because he's not done. And I think before he's done, he's going to be in the top 10. I'm just going to be honest right now. I have him at 12th. Okay. But it's because he's not done. And I'm just waiting to see what more this man can do. And that's Roman Reigns. What are your thoughts on him at number 18 and 12th on my list, honestly?
So here's the problem with Roman Reigns. Again, still new. Because all the people that are above him, we're talking about 20, 30, 40 years of wrestling.
Yes.
20, 30, 40 years of wrestling. And I'm not sure that even in his family, where he ranks and rates, right? So there's that. I think if you said top 25, okay. Higher than that, I can't. Because there are too many folks like, we had a texter ask the question, what about Big Van Vader? Doesn't make the top 25. Do you put him in the space with Kevin Nash? Do you put him in the space with Shawn Michael? Do you put him in the space with Harley Race? Like who exactly, where does he belong? And it depends on the person, but I think it's still too high for Roman Reigns.
So for me, I kind of go mentally without even thinking about it subconsciously. I go tiers. And my tier 1 is the 1 through 12 that I have. And that's just what happened without me purposely trying to do it. And then tier 2, I've got a whole list of wrestlers in my tier 2. And then tier 3 was my question marks, which is admittedly where I have Warrior. It's where I have Goldberg. It's where I put CM Punk was a question mark. Okay, I've got Kurt Angle. I've got Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. Those are question marks for me. That's my tier 3. So I've got Roman Reigns just in tier 1. And part of that is what I think he's going to do before he's done. Part of that is the bloodline feud that's coming up. I think he's still going to have the match with The Rock. So it's a little bit of projection in there as well, to be fair. All right, we got to take a break. We might have to go fairly quickly. I do want to get to our top 10. So we got about 7 wrestlers to go before the show ends. And it's going to be tough, but we'll do our best, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. The new EPL season starts this Friday on the 16th as Man United takes on Fulham at 2 p.m. EPL action then continues on Saturday as West Ham takes on Aston Villa at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday. Then we wrap up the week on Sunday as Chelsea takes on Man City at 10:30 a.m. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
Are you a healthy non-smoker? Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, is seeking people like you, 19 to 64 years old with excess weight, to take part in a research study. You could earn up to $22,500 for participation. This study includes 1 10-night stay, 5 2-night stays, 1 1-night stay, and 17 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/dub or call 8662-13-2965.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Are you or someone you love struggling with substance use? The Bridge Behavioral Health in Lincoln offers outpatient therapy for those 19 and over. The Bridge is conveniently located in the South Haymarket and near city bus lines. With payment options through insurance and a sliding fee scale, services are available for any adult 19 and over seeking help. Call 402-477-3951 to learn more or schedule your appointment today. The Bridge Behavioral Health is a local substance use treatment facility offering hope and a solid foundation for recovery through substance use treatment and behavioral health interventions.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family nights? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement. Strike 3, you're out! Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered. Whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium, get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. All right, we're number 17 on our list. As always, you can check out The Ticket at theticketfm.com, Carriker Chronicles at carrikerchronicles.com. Number 17 is Edge. And honestly, I feel like this is about a good spot for Edge. Somewhere between 15 to 25 is kind of where I had him in my mind, around 20. So 17 seems like a good spot for Adam Copeland now of AEW. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, 20 to 25 is where I have him, but I understand 17. I understand 17.
All right. Mick Foley, Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mick Foley.
Literally just broke them. Bach literally brought him up during the break. And
all right.
He's top 15. He's top 15 because the moments and the story. Like the fact that, he was a jobber. He was a jobber that nobody wanted. He didn't look the part. He broke the mold in what pro wrestlers could and should look like. The boundaries that are put in play, the safety measures that have had to been put in place. When they have to protect you from yourself, you're a bad dude. So, yeah, Foley absolutely in the place.
I love the fact that he could legit do 4 different characters. Okay. Yep. And you got the Hell in the Cell match. You got so much more that he did just beyond that as well. His Mankind character was my personal favorite. And JR, Jim Ross, has talked about how he tried to bring him on and bring him over from WCW. Vince McMahon said no initially. Eventually, Vince does say yes, and he looks at Jim Ross, talking about nobody really wanting Mick Foley. He looks at Jim Ross and he goes, I'm going to let you sign him so you can know what it's like to sign somebody, watch them fail, and break your heart. Obviously, Vince was wrong, but when you talk about nobody wanting him, that's one reason to get hired, I guess, but he turned out to be just kind of un poquito successful. All right, at number 15, years ago, going back to that Fourth and Pain show, I would ask wrestlers who'd come on, whether it was Jeff Hardy at the time or Christopher Danielson, which wrestler, I wouldn't say who are you the most jealous of, but which wrestler, if you could switch places with them, who would that person be? And every single one of them. And Chris Jericho had never been outside of really WWE or WCW at the time, but he was in WWE. They all said Chris Jericho, just because of everything he's done in the ring, the Fozzy, the Rock Band, everything he's done, his longevity. But he's at number 15 here. 15 to 20 is where I had him. I got no problem with it.
No, I'm not a Jericho guy.
Okay.
I'm not a Jericho guy. And if I've had some of those discussions, as a matter of fact, Bach and I was just discussing that easily to answer that question about who I would want to change places with, having been around him at his prime, there's nobody I would rather switch with than Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat was that dude was living a charmed life. Like, I was like, wait a minute, you look that way and you're a super athlete? Yeah. That would be Rick Steamboat. Jericho. No, I didn't understand. Jericho belongs in the conversation with Eddie.
Okay.
And Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle misses, right? Just misses. I think he's pushed to that space as well. But yeah, you're talking about the real deep water now, and I don't think Jericho belongs in the deep water.
All the names you just mentioned, I do think he's in a similar conversation. Other than Kurt Angle, I would put him slightly ahead of all the names you just mentioned. AEW was originally built on the back, really, of Chris Jericho, Le Champion at the time. I know now it's not so much a thing. But to me, that was kind of what attracted me to actually watch AEW. It wasn't Cody Rhodes. It wasn't anybody else. No disrespect. It was, oh, Jericho's over there. What's he doing? And Le Champion and all that. So I would put him ahead of all the folks that you just mentioned. I'm not a big Eddie Guerrero guy personally.
Can I say this? That none of greatness in my head is tied to AEW.
Well, when a new company is basically built around you being a champion, is what I'm saying.
Not one stitch of greatness am I the greatest of all time? That you didn't compete in real buildings and draw real crowds and have to perform at an arena or a football stadium or a concert hall, that you're in a pre-packaged, pre-formed, bare minimum facility? No. If you're AEW, no.
Well, I didn't say greatest of all time. I said ahead of the guys you mentioned. And to me, AEW was rolling at one time. Now, a lot of that was the new car smell and the anti-WWE vibe at the time. But it was kind of built around Jericho being the champ. But we'll move on. We'll agree to disagree just a smidge. Okay. This next guy is always so hard for me because, in my opinion, he may be the single most physically talented wrestler, in my opinion, that I've ever seen. Maybe you've seen someone else who you have a different thought. And he's in the conversation for top 15 of all time. Personally, I don't have him in the top 15. I have him just outside, probably just in front of Edge. But that's Randy Orton, a guy to me who could have been in that top 5 conversation. And Gunther just kind of cut this promo on him the other night. You could have been the greatest of all time. You didn't live up to it. So Gunther was kind of saying you fell short. And Randy responded great. He's like, I've made mistakes, a ton of them. I've owned up to it. I think right in front of Edge is where I'd have him. And I think Edge was, 17th on this list or something. But this guy's always been a tough one for me. I've never been a personal fan of him, although I can easily see the appeal of him.
So he and Eddie, again, are in that really, 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 really good level. I mean, add Batista. They stood in Evolution. They stood next to Flair and Triple H. And we still have to figure out where to put Triple H, right? Like we still have to figure out where to put that group. Orton is in the Batista category. Like you got to remember that Batista, Cena, Orton came through together. Like it was a package deal. So put them in the same level. And I mean that with Cena, Batista, and Randy Orton. That's how good they all are. And the difference between them and the elite elevator penthouse area that we're about to go with.
For me, those three, it goes Cena, Orton, Batista in that order. Batista just didn't do it as long. Cena did it at a higher level than even what Orton did, in my opinion. But we can get to that. Next on the list is 13th is Eddie Guerrero. I've just never been an Eddie guy. I'm sorry. I love Eddie. This is a personal preference thing. You personally prefer him. I personally do not. That's just me.
I saw Eddie evolve and then rebrand and redirect, change his body, change his style of performance. He was as good of a comic that's ever been in the ring.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
Great fighter that Eddie threw his body through walls, brick, glass. Eddie would do anything for the sell, and it puts him in a unique space. 13 is still high because, again, we could roll off 20 big time bangers that we haven't talked about, that some of them won't even make the list.
I don't know. I think what sticks out to me, and this is a little unfair because you can probably find any one particular storyline to make any one single point at any point in time if somebody wants to. But I watched Eddie Guerrero beat Brock Lesnar for the championship, but that whole storyline was about Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. And so to me, it was kind of like The Miz beat John Cena at WrestleMania 27, but it was really John Cena and The Rock is what that was about. And so I kind of view that a little bit similarly, but not entirely the same. To me, the next guy on this list, and we got two more to go to, and then we'll save the top 10 on this list and our top 10 for next week. But to me, this is like, man, Brock Lesnar is not on this list. And I know there's reasons that he won't be. But when I think of the very top of the tier 2 guys, I think of Brock Lesnar, and I think of this guy, Macho Man Randy Savage. Just the very top of the tier 2, but not quite tier 1. What are your thoughts on Savage?
Adam, I love when you give these lists, and I never go to your list. I never go to the source of that because I like to be raw in it.
Yeah.
But then I just looked at this list. I finally looked at it.
Okay.
And, we could burn this list.
Yeah, we could. We haven't agreed with much of this list.
We could burn it to the ground because San Martino, Harley Race, none of them are in this list. Brock Lesnar's not in this list. Like, literally, bro, what? Oh my goodness. Like, I looked at it. I just looked up and I just went, oh no. It has Ric Flair number 6. Okay, punch yourself in the pants. Right in the pants. Just punch yourself in the pants.
In the pants.
Adam, he has come on. I think this is a perfect place to put a pin in, and you and I will make a real list for next Tuesday. Like a real list, because this is trash. I just looked at it. Shame on him. Shame on whoever put this list together.
So to be clear, when DB says my list, it's the list that we're analyzing online. This is not my list.
Right,
okay, we're going to go through his list and my list next week. I don't think I've ever heard DP laugh so much ever. He truly hates this list. It's not great.
Have you seen this list?
Not yet.
Bach!
But the fact that Lesnar's not on is just...
Harley Race isn't on the list, man. What are you doing? Forget about Nick Bockwinkel. Like, don't put a Von Erich on it. Like, just tell me you don't know wrestling without telling me you don't know wrestling.
So there's a couple of lists that DP and I have dissected over the summer, and they were little older lists. So I wanted to find the most up-to-date one, and that's what this is. I did not look at the legitimacy of it or who was on it until I started going through it with DP. Randy Savage at 12. Again, to me, him and Lesnar are like the very top guys of the tier 2 guys. And Lesnar's not I have him outside of tier 1 just because of the lack of consistency, so to speak.
That is so funny.
They do have Kurt Angle at number 11. I love Kurt Angle. He shouldn't be number 11. They have Hogan at 10. What? Way too low. But we'll get into the rest of it next week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the happy hour. Although DP is pretty happy right now. We got the happy hour coming up right after this, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, go big red and always remember to throw the bone.